All right. Chihuahua. Looks like we got sound. Got some lights. Got some action. Welcome, all of you holy ones. Even all those who don't think they're holy. Maybe after tonight's topic, maybe you'll change your mind about that. And so, this is a transmission of spirit. These teachings are based on the inner Christos. These teachings are based on Christ consciousness, on unity consciousness. So as we talk about the soul, that's the point of view that we're going to be coming from, also called the Emerald Order, or inner Christos law of one. Let me get the illumination. And a charcoal disc. It's always part of our ritual. And I always do it live because that's part of the frequency. It's meant to be done live. Connecting. Bringing it on in, holy ones. Bless all of you in your day, your week, and your journey. You guys, please let me know that you can see and hear everything okay. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you guys. We're doing this as a group. We're a specific people, a culture, higher dimensional culture, frequency. We celebrate with joy and reverent respect. This is our way, the guardian way. Almost like a cleansing effect. Get into that rhythm, into that dance, into that song. Yes, song. I appreciate all of you guys. I miss you. If I had more time, I would make it 3 or 4 days a week. But this is my full-time job. We got some good frequency coming on in, holy ones. Got some code, some memory, some technology. Yeah, baby. Cleansing thy space, cleansing thy light body. Smother yourself. Co-create with these sacred energies. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice. Machiwa, much respect. The soul. What is the soul? Not what you've been taught in mainstream religion. Not the distortions that you can damn your soul, you can lose your soul, or your soul can be stolen, or something like that. Transmute. It's none of those things. So, to understand the soul is necessary to understand the creation context, that which the soul resides within. A universal, a multiversal context. Creation, a part of creation, God's creation. And there's only one of those. Source God, God force. And it is not a pronoun. It is not a he or a she. It does not have a body. It is beyond body. Mortal humans put gender on God, put a form on God. God has no form. God is formless. It is the time matrix that has the illusion of form. But we know Creator, God, created the time matrix. God is outside and beyond the time matrix. God is everywhere, including the time matrix. Omnipresence. And so we find the soul within the creation, God's creation of the time matrix, hologram field. According to these teachings, and I've heard even our teacher talk about it in the Kathara Biospiritual Healing, that there's 24 time matrices. We're just one of them. So we talk about ours because it's relevant to us. So our 15-dimensional time matrix has, 15 different levels. They all have different frequencies. Like a radio station, 15 different stations playing in the time matrix. 15 different stations, 15 different frequencies, bandwidths, 15 different levels of spirit, 15 different levels of consciousness. And so the soul is a piece of that. Because surely you understand there's greater levels than the soul. There's the oversoul. There is the avatar. There is the solar rishi. Plasmic beings. And there's also levels below the soul. Hello, earthlings. Hello, 3D. Hello, first universe. Because the soul is in the second universe. The soul is a level of your own identity, your multi-dimensional identity. It is the level of all creation. You would say within the time matrix, all of the creations in the time matrix have a level of the soul, have a possible probability. The heroic probability, have these possible versions of yourself, many different versions of yourself. And I will show the time matrix a little bit. I just want to say hello to everybody. But this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Hopefully I've piqued your interest. I welcome all of you, beginners, and those of you who are knowledgeable about these teachings, who are studying the books and the video workshops by Ashiana Dean. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here tonight. Bless you in your journey. Whatever level you're at, we're all at different levels. I myself, I'm not a master or some guru. I'm also a student of the Emerald Order teachings, a student of Ashiana Dean. Machiwa to all of you learning. Let's learn together. Makaya. We have Brandy Lednier watching on big screen. Whoa! I wish I had one of those 50, 60 plus, 75 plus inch screens. Good to see you. Can you see me? Yeah. Welcome, Brandy. Liquid light to you, Holy One. Woohoo! Spiritual Ascension. Welcome, Angel. That's such a cool name, right to the point. Spiritual Ascension. Oh, right up there, returning back. Return back to Source God. Welcome, Angel. Good evening. Sir Madison, brother, Machiwa fam. Good to see you. One of our first moderators tonight. We have a few of those to watch our back, so we have a safe community. Keep out the profane people. Keep out the trolls. And I want to say that you guys can disagree with whatever I have to say. You can put it in chat, but just be kind and we're all being friendly and kind in our communications. So just be respectful. As soon as you're disrespectful or profane, we have to let you go. Machiwa. Thank you, Sir Madison, for your service, brother. Oh, wow. Spiritual Ascension. Sorry, YouTube made you wait. Maybe there's something with your form of payment. Maybe it's international. Maybe it's a debit card. I don't know. There's probably information you can find out there. But glad you made it. Welcome, member. A new member there. And just realize that you have access to the Discord chat server. And if you need a link, make sure you DM me on Facebook or Instagram or write to my email below. Syrian Star Princess in the house. Welcome, Holy One. Woohoo! Good to see you, sister. Sarah Holder, Machiwa, Holy One. I missed you too. Good to have you. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here with us tonight. Yeah, another moderator. Hunja X in the house. Uh-oh, we got a problem with Asin Maxwell. Okay. Thank you, Indigo Wizard, for watching our back. Is he just saying yay, or is there something worse than that? With the crown? Yeah, there's not very positive, friendly energies in there. Actually, you guys, I don't want this background. I already told myself I was going to change it, so let me change it. It's weird, but not weird to me. I want to be a different background. I'll just, since I don't want to waste your time, let me pick a classic one of my favorites. There we go. All right. Well, you guys, let's be friendly in chat. That's the whole thing I just got through saying, right? Patty Paparazzi's Ascended Master. Woohoo! Thank you, Star Sister. Thank you for that amazing support. Give me a bear hug. Yeah. And I think you're in the USA. Yeah? Patty Paparazzi's in the USA right now. She's in Florida. Blessings, Patty. Good to have you with us tonight. Thank you, Johnny Freeman. Appreciate it. Cosmic, space, outer space, multiverse, universe. Yeah, baby, what's up? Some people make fun of my shirt, so it's good to have your feedback, brother. Got Kimberly Hope Walker, Celine, Star Sister. Woohoo! Good to see you, sister. And Gina Sutton, bless you, sister. Got a lot of divine feminine tonight. Until the sun dies. Okay, thank you for that confirmation. Appreciate that. Vinny Ramos, thank you for supporting this work. Thank you for that exchange of energy. Because this is my full-time job, and this is how I can support myself. So thank you so much for that, Vinny. And he also made a message. Tuning in from work as much as I can. Blessings to everyone. Positive, homie. Welcome, Vinny. Thank you so much. Cecilia, thank you also for that confirmation. Bless you, Robin Kirk. Good to see you. Jaden Luma, thank you, members. Oh, let me let this person go. Sorry, brother. Please chill and come back when you're ready. Oscar Ferrari was cooking in the Terahertz kitchen. Whoa, there we go. All right, you guys, I have to start. So, welcome all of you for being here with me and the crew, all of us as a group. And to me, it's kind of like the central thing that's going on with us is the soul. You are the soul, so it's not something separate than you. Okay? One thing that we need to go over is that we are multidimensional. That means we exist here in this space, but we exist simultaneously in many other spaces. Multidimensional. We are present in many places at once. Okay, so we're present in the 3D, we're present in the 4D, 5D, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All humans are. Because all humans, whether they're awakened or if their DNA strands are dormant, either way, all humans have 12 strands of DNA. Okay? So when you become distorted, when you fall in your consciousness from, you live a life and die, you'll fall into a lower level. That's falling in consciousness. Well, those strands don't get destroyed. They actually fragment and become dormant. But the way consciousness works is you can recover that dormant DNA. In other words, you can activate that dormant DNA through a spiritual journey, through healing techniques, okay, that you learn in these teachings. Something called bioregenesis, Cathara bioregenesis, learning about the Cathara grid, learning about your spiritual energetic anatomy. Because there's a lot of foreign terms in here that you may have never heard before. Like, what are your Huva bodies? What are your Partakai grids? What are your chakra seals? Oh, what are chakras? Okay, so some of it may be unfamiliar, but we study and become familiar, and then it's more of a remembering, more of a reawakening. We are already awakened. We are already evolved. But we fell into this state, or we projected ourselves into this lower dimension. This is what an ascended master does. It comes in at the highest point, comes in, propagates itself, projects itself in all the dimensions. So there's an avatar comes in and projects 1,728 selves. I think it's a little bit less than that because some of those selves are in the ascended master levels themselves, but the rest are projected into the time matrix. Dimensions 15 down to 1. It can be. More, it's mostly 12 to 1 to 12. So, because the last three, dimensions 13, 14, and 15, are eternal gestalts. They don't leave the time matrix. They always exist in the time matrix. It is beings who are visiting, projecting themselves into the time matrix, into multidimensional form. So one ascended master projected itself And you're one of those pieces of itself. But at the higher perspective, you are this being. It is you, you are it. You are yourself here in 3D, but you're also it in the density 4 dimensions 10, 11, or 12. You're it that you're also existing. Remember what I said earlier, simultaneously. We exist many places, but we don't always remember that. Like ourselves down here don't always remember. We're not aware. We have, the human race is in amnesia. We have a bump on our head. There's some things that blocks our memory. Part of your spiritual journey is learning how to unblock that. So let me see, we got another positive assistance. Woohoo! Thank you, Syrian Star Princess, for your generous donation. Bless you, Holy One. And she left a message. My awakening started earlier this year, 2025, right? Now my 13-year-old daughter is starting to have awakening ascension symptoms. Woohoo! To Syrian Star Princess's daughter. Yeah! You go, girl! That and puberty, that's a very rough, ocean there. I'm so not ready. Lots of laughs. Thank you, mods, and Christos Avatar TV. Much respect, Syrian Star Princess. Thank you for the shout out to my moderators. Much respect and love and gratitude. Thank you for that wonderful donation. Bless you, sister. And sending you positive vibrations to you and your situation. Syrian Star Princess and your daughter. Blessings, love, reverent respect, and gratitude. And so we're a family, right? So thank you, family, for being here with us tonight. This is a star seed thing. This is a indigo child thing. And we are realizing those identities of ourselves, just like we're realizing the soul identity. So right here at the beginning, let me just show you the soul on the diagram. And just realize, you guys, you can also purchase my diagram separately, even from membership, because that's another way I support myself. And it's an amazing tool for these teachings. And it's an amazing tool for me to teach. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let me open up Photoshop. Let me open up the diagram. 1 second here. And let me close some windows. Shout out to Tom Althouse, brother. I love you, man. I'll be reaching out to you again shortly. Thank you, man, if you're out there. I'm going to find it here real quick. Time Matrix, open it up and switch it. Okay, so it's not to Photoshop. That in my work, I am always switching between Photoshop and the photo app. Sometimes before my live, I have to switch it to Photoshop. Okay. So let me do that now, you guys. There's another window to close. So this is the creation context that helps you understand the soul and many other things. God's creation, the universal Templar complex. Okay, because chakras are also called Templar. So you'll see the chakras in here, 15 dimensions, that means 15 chakras. Okay, so it's the universal Templar complex. And you'll see, just in the diagram itself, it's spheres within spheres. This is the natural shape, even though people say we live in a flat earth, for example. Sorry, honey. This is a sacred geometry of a sphere. Spheres within spheres. Kind of like more oval shape. This is God's hologram of matter. source God. This is representative of the inner God, the inner Christ, Christos, law of one, where we celebrate one spirit, one God, one self, the God self, one love, one heart, one mind, and you can keep going on and on and on. One being, one body. So this is the, you would say, based on the spiritual science, it's also, you would say, polarized into particle and antiparticle, mostly base magnetic versus base electric. Those go together and make electromagnetic. So we exist in the particle universe. We also exist over here in the antiparticle universe, in the parallel earth and the particle earth. There's also something called inner earth. Not everyone exists there, but most humans are going to be living in Tara or Earth or Gaia or Armatena. But humans usually are only going up to Tara, and there's other versions of you, extraterrestrial versions of you in Gaia. There's no more humans at this level. You go beyond human. You go into where gender ends. No more gender, no more males and females. No more penis and vaginas. No more body forms. Bodies end. No more. You're ghost-like. Your frequency, your energy. Okay? You're not just an individual. You're a collective. I've seen those collectives up there. You're not just simply a person. You're people. You're a family. And so this is a representative of where we are now, right here. The first universe, density, DU, density universe 1. The carbon matter universe. We're in the 3D of this universe. As soon as you go into the 4D, this is where you find the soul. This is the soul level out of 15 levels, like I said at the beginning. Okay, look how low the soul is compared to the full creation context. Even angels and archangels are considered low compared to the rest of this creation. Right? So we have a gap here. You say a partition here. And you can't get to here until your soul is done reincarnating here. You actually have a main family of 12 tribe family. You're going to live 6 males and 6 females. But ultimately, you have 144 of you in your greater family, and that will be explained tonight. So what our job is here on Earth, what we're trying to do is go beyond the universe 1, the first density universe, and go in and expand and spiritually ascend into Tara after we die. See, we're still experiencing death here. It wasn't always like that. But the fallen angelics manipulated and caused problems in the Earth's grids herself. The planetary grids have been distorted. Now, because of this majority of distortion in the grids of Earth, now there's mortality and death for all life, including animals and plants, not just humans. All life is going through death process now. So when I say spiritually sin, that means you have to die first. Let's say you're 80 years old, 90 years old, man or woman. You die naturally, whatever. Then you will ascend or not. You'll either ascend, reincarnate, or even fall into what we talked about, the parallel system, right? Well, there's also a phantom system. Some beings are so bad or negative or dark or twisted and distorted, they fall into a reverse consciousness, into the phantom, where you get, fallen angels, demons, whatever you call it. It's actually an anomaly because it was created. It wasn't always at the beginning of time. It was created 250 billion years ago. The location of fallen angelic ET races, because that's what angels are, ETs, with mutated DNA and distorted consciousness. The chaotic life forms that have plagued our time matrix throughout history. Okay, so we're not part of the dark souls. We're not talking about dark souls tonight. We're talking about the living souls. You see, it's a higher level of where we are now. So you will eventually, the goal is to spiritually ascend out of this universe into the next universe. When you go progressively, normally you're going to go to 4D, D4, dimension 4. Some beings are going to go to dimension 5. Some will go to dimension 6. It depends on how many strands of DNA you have activated. Okay? I'm just checking on chat. So, there was some other diagrams here. Let me bring them up. It helps me explain the soul concept. So we have these, this would be considered part of the Earth system, these three levels, dimensions 1, dimensions 2, dimensions 3, and then these are going into the higher dimensions, but this is not the diagram I actually wanted, so let me pull that up. This is what you look like as a 12-strand avatar. You're going to have all these strands of DNA activated. But what's going on now is we only have some of that activated, such as, I didn't mean to do that. We're trying to activate strand 4. You see the difference? This is only 3.5 strands. Well, this is what you'll eventually look like. All the strands will be activated. All the earth seed strands, DNA strands, and the rest are the star seed DNA strands. That is what makes up the angelic human race. We're not angelic anymore down here, but we're going to return to that through spiritual ascension by reclaiming this 4th strand of DNA and then the 5th strand of DNA. You return back to your angelic human self. Actually, let me correct myself. You actually will be able to go back to Tara. To reclaim the angelic human self, you have to actually make it to completing strand 6. And then you'll be plugged into the rest of the starseed DNA. It will just be plugged in, and then you will look like this. Okay? But right now, we'll see we go in stages. We have started 75,000 or 73,000 years ago for strand 2. Only 2 strands. That's what the Lemurians were. You see these segments. Each one is a lifetime. Like this is a lifetime as a male, as a female, as a male, as a female. You see 2 of these? One of these, pairs is a twin flame or a soulmate. So this is why it adds up to 6 different twin flame soulmates, but pairs. So you have 12 lifetimes to live. Sometimes as male, sometimes as female. Down in Universe 1, we're still gender. Same with Density Universe 2, we're still gender. By the time you get to Density Universe 3, there'll all be 12 androgynous lives. No males and females. So you live 12 times to get this strand of DNA. You're going to live 12 times to get this strand of DNA. Unless there's something wrong. And there is something wrong. So that's not actually what's happening now. Now, I got to make sure I'm actually showing the diagram because, yeah, okay. So these 3 strands are only the Earth system. We're trying to go to these 3 strands, Tara, the soul level of our identity. as you can see, these are the soul level strands. Okay? And as you saw in the main diagram, these are the soul level strands. Templar, chakras, consciousness. You saw on the other diagram, every one of these levels is another race. Like this is the Aryan part of your identity. This is the Muvarian part of your identity. And this is the Unchechi part of your identity. Right now, we're just experiencing, the last remnants of Atlantis. This is the strand for Atlantis, so let me show that. This is Lemurian, strand 2. Strand 3 was Atlanteans. So when you realize we're still in the strand 3, because you're not in this density universe 2, we're still working on the Atlantean strand. We're still remnants of Atlantis. Atlantis still exists. We are Atlantis, you could say. But that's another topic, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but just realize that we are still within what's called the Atlantean conspiracy, which is a fallen angelic Illuminati conspiracy. So anyways, like I said, that's a different video, but this is our progress. Our progress is to eventually get into the soul level. You see, they talk about the soul as being something that you can lose. It's part of creation. It's part of identity. It's part of the context of consciousness that it goes through, that you go through, from this level down here into the higher levels, the higher dimensions, into the density. That's the second universe. And then into the dimensions of the third universe, and then into the 3 dimensions of the fourth universe. We're still in the first universe, you guys, and we shouldn't be. We're not even from here. We fell to here. Our race started in the second universe, density universe 2, holographic universe 2. We started there, but part of our planet had cataclysm. Major cataclysm, where you actually fall into a black hole system, frequency falling. Black holes have to do with falling in consciousness, in body matter. And so that also makes you disembodied. In cataclysm, in destruction of a planet, you see a planet destroyed, all of those are disembodied, and some of them will fall into phantom. Or the planet will fall into phantom. It's destruction. It's death. It falls into the phantom universe. This is why planets were destroyed, like Avion was destroyed. It fell into phantom. Phantom Avion. Tiamat was destroyed. Phantom Tiamat. The asteroid belt is not a bunch of rocks. It's pieces of a planet that once existed. Some people call it Maldak. But this planet was destroyed, and so it went into the phantom. And so it's very interesting because Nibiru is in the phantom, so it was destroyed once upon a time. If Earth gets destroyed, there will be a phantom version, or there's parts of phantom in there. According to the Voyager's books, the Zeta Gray aliens do some terrible thing in the future, the far, far future. And so, because they did that in some timeline, there is a phantom version of Earth. And when you fall in your consciousness, you'll go to that phantom Earth. So, anyways, this is the soul is something that haven't reached yet. I mean, you understand, we came from that level, but so we're actually have reached it, but we're reclaiming it. But humans are still stuck down here trying to get back there, reclaim the soul, which is within your junk DNA, the dormant DNA. I don't call it junk. The scientists call this, they don't know what it is. They just see that most of our DNA, let me get my facts straight. I'll fact check myself. 1 second. Okay. What percent of our DNA do scientists say is dormant? (95 to 98%). This is what they call junk. That percent of your DNA, which is most of it, up to 98% of your DNA is considered junk. Scientists commonly state that around 95 to 98% of our DNA is considered non-coding, meaning it doesn't code for proteins. This portion has often been referred to as junk DNA. Quotes, it's not junk. Though the term is now outdated and misleading, I would agree. While it was once thought to be functionless, current research shows that much of this so-called dormant DNA plays critical roles in gene regulation, epigenetic expression, RNA production, chromosome structure and stability. You see how once upon a time ignorance said it was dormant and junk. You see that mainstream science doesn't know everything, does it? Especially when mainstream still says it's a theory. They still even say evolution is a theory. You guys, this is evolution, the dormant DNA. Whenever the scientists acknowledge that we exist in multidimensional realities, and that we're only in the third reality out of 15, and that we don't evolve like this, we leap into another level of evolution. You are created with a specific DNA template. A frog has a DNA template. A giraffe has a DNA template. The wasp insect has a DNA template. It doesn't evolve in universe 1. Okay, it goes through 144 incarnations, for example, until it evolves into a higher form. Okay? At death, it will transmute into another universe. The second, it's called carbon etheric universe. We're in the carbon universe. You don't evolve into another being until you die and through many different ascensions. You know, death and dying, death, die, death, die, death, die, death, die, death, die. Death, birth, birth, reincarnate. You die, you live a life, you die, you come alive again. Your soul essence, there's the key. The soul essence goes into another density 1 body. The density 2 soul projects 12 of itself. So you're only 1/12 of who you really are. You're only experiencing 1/12, and the reality check is it's worse than that. Because, okay, we're 1/12 of our soul going into a body, but the body has blocks and mutations and problems with it. So even your 1/12 isn't really 1/12 because it gets even blocked even more. So you're not 1/12. So if we're only like 10% of 1/12, what the shit are we? Excuse my language. Only about 10% makes it into the body of 1/12. Can you imagine how amazing the consciousness is of your soul? Because our soul down on earth has been put into 12 pieces, and each of those pieces are trying to get into a body, and only some of it comes in. So you think you're brilliant? We think we're brilliant? We ain't jack. We ain't even close to being brilliant. When you really think about it, and when you really see it, who are we compared to our soul? We're struggling with the small portion of consciousness down here. We can only accomplish so much with such a small piece. But look what humans have done with this small piece. Can you imagine what humans can do with more and more consciousness? Bring in more consciousness. That's what these teachings are about. That's what spiritual ascension is. Bringing in more. Do you think anyone in the science think you can bring in more consciousness? They're too busy talking about some theories called evolution theory. They don't acknowledge the soul. They don't acknowledge multidimensional realities. They're not acknowledging consciousness as being multidimensional. They don't acknowledge psychic powers. All the people in power are blocking that information. You know, I made a video today about psychic abilities. Did you know? They do not allow, YouTube does not allow the hashtag psychic. It doesn't exist. Fact check me. Go look for yourself. Hashtag psychic is not allowed. You can't use hashtag psychic abilities. It doesn't exist on YouTube. Hashtag psychic powers doesn't exist. Why does the consensus, why does the mainstream not want you to know about psychic abilities? Because that would lead into the other bodies of knowledge talking about multidimensional realities, aliens are real, psychic powers are real. They don't want you talking about it. They will block you from sharing that data. You can't have the simple hashtag, otherwise, it's just simply not available to you. So now there's not a pages for psychic abilities. You see what they do? But people are still talking about it. We're still talking about it. For example, we're still talking about psychic abilities and psychic powers and how they're all part of the human race. They want you sleeping. And it worked because humans are sleeping. Wake up, humans. Get off your knees, humans. You're going to be censored on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on all the major platforms. You will be censored. But the information is still getting through to you. You're still getting this information anyways. It's just not going to be a big thing. It's not going to be flooding through. Remember, the people in power don't want you to awaken your 12th strand. They're scared to death of the human race awakening to their Christos. That's what the 12th strand is. I showed you the diagram with the entire DNA. You know, that entire 12 strand DNA is what we call angelic human. We're not that anymore. I showed you what we are. Only 3 strands or 2. I've heard Ashiana, our teacher, talk about only 2.5 to 3.5 is what most humans are. That's nothing of the angelic human. That's a tiny portion of the angelic human. We're not angelic humans down here. We're only a shadow of it. Once again, let me ask you, can you imagine what your soul, tonight's topic, what your soul is like? Its consciousness, its intelligence, its psychic potential, its knowledge. Imagine how freaking amazing that is. If you think you're amazing, well, there's 12 of you, and you add up those amazing selves, all 12 of you is what your soul is. So just a little bit of appreciation of who you really are. Because it is the soul projecting itself into the earth system. It is you becoming awake down here. Your soul consciousness is down here in the incarnate level, awakening. And just as that soul is there, well, it has an oversoul that projected it. And the oversoul has an avatar that projected it. And the avatar has a rishi that projected it. The rishi has an ascended master that projected it. And ascended master 2 and ascended master 3. And that ascended master 3 has source projected it. God, source, projected ascended master level 1, ascended master level 2, projected ascended master 3, which projected into the rishi, which your rishi, whatever that is, your rishi projected 12 versions of itself, fragments of itself into the avatar. Those 12 avatars, now you see why 12 times 12 equals 144. You see why we have 144 incarnates. We have 144 souls. We have 144 oversouls, 144 avatars. This is why I call you holy ones. Whether you're awake to your Christos avatar or not, doesn't change the fact that you are a Christos avatar. You are an ascended master. You are source God. Machiwa. Lauren Wisdom, Star Sister, thank you so much for that exchange of energy. Bless you and your regular presence here, attendance. So wonderful to see you. How you doing there, sister? Latin, yeah, brother, what's up? You gonna go rolling in Las Vegas with those 3 sevens? My Chiwa fam, much love to every soul. Bless you, brother. So happy to have you in our group shield. Machiwa. Tuna, what's up, Tuna? How you doing? Sir Madison, let your vibe attract your tribe. You said it, Vato Loco. Yeah. Shine your light, man. What's up? Smash that like button. Thank you, Stardust Goddess. Machiwa. I thought we let him go already. Remove. No, not remove the message. I don't understand this BS. I'll have to figure it out later. He's been timed out, you guys. He's not going to be here tonight to bug us anymore. And what did I say at the beginning of the show? Sometimes we have trolls. Sometimes. Spiritual Ascension 555. Woohoo! That means 15 dimensions. Good evening, holy ones. May our bio-spiritual healing awaken to omnipresence, omnipotence, and omnilove. Cheers to MCEO, Freedom Teachings and Teachers. Woohoo! You said it, Holy One. Much respect. Awesome message. Machiwa, that's what we need in this world. More of this, you would say, true guardian principles. Because church brings you, the religions bring you guilt, the false creeds of fear. These are the false creeds of religion. Guilt, fear, shaming, and blind worship, subservience, devaluing women, putting them down. And this is like phantom principles, you guys. These are dark principles. We're about the Emerald Covenant talks about the 12 attitudes of mastery. Fear. The opposite of fear is what? Joy, bliss, grace, omni-love, mindfulness, trust. I want to be around people I trust. Accountability. Are you accountable for what you do? Responsibility. Are you responsible in your spiritual maturity? Whoa! I have cat reflexes. Shit. I just saw something really quick on the ground. I don't know where it went though. It was so fast. It was at the corner of my eye. Maybe it was an astral thing because I don't see it. And I'm bare feet right now if it's a spider. Let me put something around my foot. Or let me just wear socks. But I don't just say that. I have these like, I don't know how or why. I do have cat reflexes, man. Super fast reaction. Like if I start to fall over, I immediately recover. If I'm about to stumble or I recover somehow. Amazing. It's not even thinking. And I don't have time to think when something like that happens. So the socks will help a little bit, right? If it is a spider. Sorry for that interruption. I am in a, desert area. Some of those spiders are not cool. I mean, they're dangerous. So, anyways. Well, we don't talk about sins either, Steve, but thank you for sharing. This whole thing about guilt and sin, sinful nature, is part of the phantom false light teachings. This is one of the major distortions in religion, but I don't want to go off topic, but thank you, Giannis, Jamie 528. Woohoo! I didn't say grasshopper, bro. It just tripped me out because it was super fast. It was like this. It looked like this at the corner of my eye. And I didn't think. This was something else that reacted. I actually don't have any bad energy with spiders because every time I see one that's in the house, I capture him and peacefully let him go outside. Same with black widows. I've had a few black widows in here. They usually are coming from a certain door all the time. I don't know what's up with that, but they get in and they go around the kitchen somewhere. And so I can see them and collect them and put them outside. But I've had other insects in here. I don't like to kill anything. Some people just like to kill, or they just kill without no problem. They think animals are insignificant. Bugs are insignificant. You see, this is a level of immature consciousness. This is spiritual immaturity. You don't see life as equals. You don't see all life as important and valuable. Then there's people who are hunters and go kill animals for sport or for whatever. I think that's so horrific, man. But this is people's minds. They can't. In their mind, they don't think they're going to change. It's a sport. It's fun to kill life or something. They get pleasure out of killing life. Not my friends. I don't hang out with those kind of people. So, usually people who do that got other distortions going on. It's not just killing other animals and shit. As a matter of fact, let's say you kill something accidentally. You feel bad about it. You'll be thinking about it. You'll be sad about it. Maybe some people will cry about it. Not other people. And then it's so easy for others to murder a human being even, It's no problem. And then you have war. It's all about death. It's all about sacrifice and blood. Who's the one organizing wars? The people don't want war. It's the people in power who are manipulating cultures and societies and nations, and so and who's controlling them? They're puppets of the fallen angels, the malevolent ETs. So the soul is a part of you that we are trying to reclaim. We're trying to bring that level of ourself into our awareness here, which is the astral, the archetype, and the celestial level, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth dimension, which is represented, remember, in your Templar, your chakras. This is the part of your soul, the chakra center. The chakra has a vortex coming out your chest, a vortex coming out the same point in your back, a funnel, a wormhole, a vortex. It's a gateway, a portal to the fourth dimension. This is where you are streaming 4D consciousness if you have it opened. This is where you stream 5D consciousness if you have it opened. So most humans are stuck in those examples of 2.5 to 3.5. They don't have green in their chakra. They don't have blue in their chakra. They don't have indigo in their chakra. And they certainly don't have density 3 violet in their aura. Did I say chakra? I meant to say aura. They don't have green in their aura. They don't have blue in their aura. They don't have indigo in their aura. They don't have violet in their aura. So why does New Age show all these pretty pictures of humans having red, yellow, orange, blue, green, blue, indigo, violet? It's distortion. If you actually had clairvoyance, you would see most humans have a dirty brown chakra aura. A dirty brown aura, because when you mix red with orange with yellow, it turns into like a brownish color. Not a pretty aura all in different rainbow spectrum. You don't have green in your aura or blue in your aura or indigo in your aura unless you're Most of those people are star seeds, indigo children, hybrid beings who come from these higher worlds and go to the earth on purpose. It's their intention to come here on a mission. Then you will see, wow, that person has green, that person has blue, that person has indigo in their aura. That's because they're beings from higher dimensions. They're not here to ascend because they already are ascended from that level. You know, you're indigo, you're not trying to ascend. You're here to do a service mission. You already came from that level. You see? Like Jesus, Jeshua, was a Christos avatar from dimension 12. This Christos avatar came all the way down, density 3, density 2, density 1. Did a service and returned back to source where it came from. Same with you indigos and starseeds. You're the same thing. You're going in, doing service, and returning back after you die. Unless you're super advanced and know how to create and leave with your body in a Merkaba. But a carbon matter body is not going to make it into density 2. You see what I'm saying? It isn't carbon matter in that other universe. In the universe of the soul level, let's look at this for a second. It's different physics. It's different matter density. So, carbon matter density is different than carbon crystal matter density. These particles are vibrating. You know what particles are? Every single particle that everything is made of is vibrating twice as fast as the particles that are vibrating here. So when you see a being from density 2 that vibrates twice as fast as you do, they will look ghost-like to you. And if you see being from this level, they're going to look like some light, radiant light energy frequency. They're going to have more of the primal light fields in them. So they're going to look very ghost-like at this level. But most of the life that we experience on Earth, I mean like spiritual life, spiritual entities, spirit guides, aliens, stuff like that. Most of it is coming from here, you guys. Almost all of it is coming from here. From the second universe, from dimensions 4, 5, and 6. Okay, this is what's coming into your dream state. These are the beings that are coming into your meditation or your plant medicine ritual or whatever you're doing to alter your state. Well, these are mostly the beings that you're encountering. Crystal carbon beings that are immortal. Immortal, ghost-like beings are the ones that you experience in altered states when you're on Earth. So, when you only have these 3 levels of consciousness, the butt chakra, the groin chakra, and the ego chakra, you mix red, you mix it with orange, and you mix it with yellow, you have this dirty brown chakra. I mean, aura. I keep mixing those words up, sorry. Aura. Your aura will be just a part of the rainbow. And not a very lovely part. And it's not lovely until you get into greens and blues and purples and violets. But this is, when you think about the soul is a higher version of you on Earth. It's not something in the earth, you know what I'm saying? It's not something you're going to lose here. It's not something that you don't even have it here unless you have the chakras open, unless you have the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the third eye. Otherwise, you're cut off from those awareness. You don't even know this exists. You don't even believe it sometimes. You don't think any of this exists. You're only aware. You can only perceive what's here. The rest of this is belief or theory. All of this is theory to you. This is all theory to scientists because all they think about is what exists in this universe. All the physics and the carbon matter life forms, this is all they have experience with because they're not on a spiritual journey. They don't believe in the soul. A lot of these beings don't believe in God. They don't believe in any spiritual energy or entities. You see, of course they're not going to experience any of this in their dreams because they literally don't have, you're not going to have any of this activated in your light body. You only got butt, groin, and ego going on in your life, in your conversations, in your thoughts, in your relationships are all about, you're limited to the ego until you go on a spiritual journey and start awakening these higher Templar, higher consciousness of the soul. So here is another important diagram to explain the soul. Remember what I said? You have one soul in density 2. Remember, Tara is density 2. Remember, dimensions 4, 5, and 6 is the soul level. Oh, this is the soul level. And it is one of your souls. Sorry, I'm not trying to do that. It is one of your souls who projected 12 of you. 12 of itself. So let's say this last one is you. Around 2025. Between 2017 and 42, 30, 80. You're right here. You're some dude or some girl in this incarnation. Your 12th incarnation. Your 12th version or fragment or piece of your soul. This is part of your soul. This is 1/12 of your soul. These are all just 1/12 of your soul, just like you're only 1/12 of your soul. Hopefully you're the one that's going to ascend and bring this all together, return this all together back to your soul. One of you is going to get it. One of your 12 pieces hopefully gets it and then goes through spiritual ascension and leaves the 3D earth. You want to get out of the ego. You want to go beyond the ego. You want to go into your soul level. Now you have all of this, and you'll have all of this memories from 22,000 BC to like 13,000 BC. You will have all of these memories, all of this experience returned back to you. So your soul put pieces of itself down here and got a bunch of memories, got a bunch of experiences, got a bunch of lessons. It became a more wiser soul because of whatever you're doing and all your other 11 selves are doing. But you see how you have 12 pieces? Well, your soul is also, I don't have it on here, but your soul is also one of 12 pieces. And so when I go to the other diagram, 12 pieces here, you also have 12 souls. 12 souls make up one oversoul. Just like 12 incarnates make one soul, well, 12 souls make up one oversoul, 12 souls make up one avatar, but 12 avatars make up one rishi. One rishi make 12 geomantic entities, ascended level 3. I might have this backwards. It might be 3, 2, 1, not 1, 2, 3. But the lowest level of ascended master. And then 12, this is 1/12 of 12 of these, and it keeps going on until you get back to source God. This is why, okay, let's count them on a calculator. You have 144 here, 144 here, 144 here, 144 here, and 144 here. Did you calculate those? Times 2. Why? Because you have all the same amount on this side, on the parallel side, your doppelganger side. Okay? Okay, when you add up that number, now you add on the ascended master level, the lowest one, you're going to have 144 here. And then you're going to have 144 here. And this is one of you here that projected 12 of you here, and 12 and 12 and 12 and 12 and 12. All that adds up to 1,728. What the Guardians call your personal Christos. And we know this is the Christos level. So your avatar has that potential inside of it. 1,700. Like on this diagram, I showed 12. I couldn't fit 1,728, but I guess I could try. You have 1,728 little pieces of your avatar. So we are these beings trying to become a soul again, trying to reclaim your soul. Because when this being puts its selves down here, and these selves go back, return back, because they can only go back by living life in all these periods of time. You know, these periods, these incarnations help create strand 1, you're creating strand 2, you're going to create strand 3. And then when all these lives, all these incarnations create those strands, 1, 2, and 3, now it's ready to start coming back here to work on 4, 5, and 6. Okay, when you create 4, 5, and 6 through 144 lifetimes, you will start ascending to this level and creating another 144 lives, ascend to this level, another 144 lives, and this level, 144 lives. Actually, it's 288 when you experience twice, right? I mean, both versions. And then you continue on back to Source God. This is what your journey back to the soul is like. We're basically a microcosm of this greater macrocosm. And also, you saw that number a lot, 12. This is the divine number. According to the Guardians, and I've heard Ashiana say it many times, 12 is a sacred number. And according to her and the Kathara Biospiritual Healing video workshop series, our planet used to be a base 12 when it was immortal and humans were immortal. After the distortion of the Marduk Anunnaki, all the Luciferian Anunnaki races and factions, distorted with their with their Battlestar Nibiru and technologies they implanted on Earth and her grids, they managed to distort 2/3 of Earth grids. Which is horrendous, man. Which is nightmarish. Now that we experience death, it's totally unnatural. We're not supposed to be devouring life to live. We're in a completely unnatural state. But we still exist and still try to evolve in this unnatural state. We acknowledge it. We see it for what it is. It would take all the human race to come to union to fix that. We're not. The Guardians ain't going to come and land and fix it. That would be going against the free will of the other beings who did this. You know, the Guardians, I mean, Dimension 12 beings, Dimension 13 beings, Dimension 14, 15 beings. Those Guardian beings in those higher 4 dimensions, 12, 13, 14, 15, they don't come down and start muscling and pushing around fallen angels. They don't come down and start fixing and healing our problems. We're responsible for our own evolution. We're responsible for our own problems. And the only way that fallen angels were able to do that crap, and what they're still doing now today, is because we got entangled in their stuff. We got distorted. Now our planet's distorted because it all started a long time ago in Atlantis. So what you're seeing is what we sowed. You reap what you sow. We sowed this problem a long, long time ago, generations, millions of years of generations ago. We got into this problem, and I do mean millions, you guys, millions of years ago. We got our indigo children got punked, got tricked in Atlantis. They took over our entire priestcraft. It causes some emotion because that is how, because of free will choices, because of bad choices, we got tricked, we got fooled. Now we are fooled, all right. Now we're all suffering. Millions of years later, suffering from those consequences. It's like we didn't learn a lesson from how we got here in the first place. In Tara, we fell from the same warring, the same influences, from the same races. It was the Anunnaki in the Tara effing with us that brought us down to Earth, and they came to Earth, followed us here, and still effing with us. And dude, they're not giving up. So yeah, indigos got punked, got tricked, got fooled. They took our priestcraft, and now they were the ruling priestcraft. They became the ruling queens, kings, emperors, pharaohs. Till today, still rulers. You still have governments and rulers, right? You're still following bishops and popes. You're still worshiping and being subservient to their gods, ET gods. So we're trying to reclaim that and heal that, learn about how to do biospiritual healing to fix these problems. These teachings from the Emerald Order Guardians, I'm one of those guardians. Some of you are these guardians. We're coming and returning back these teachings, back these concepts. We're turning these truth back to the human race. And all the human race has free will to choose. You're not forced into it. Just like you'll see some people even in the Christic movement saying that we're all ascending. We're not ascending. We're not all ascending. It's not a global ascension. Creator God is not going to interfere with your choices and your problems. Is not going to say, okay, you're only 2.5 strands, not 3, not 4, not 5. You're only 2.5. Maybe you're 3. Maybe you're 3.5. That ain't cutting it. You ain't going back to Tara or to 5D. There's no, this Monopoly game, free pass. You don't get to freely go to the 5th dimension. This is what people are saying. And I'm transmuting that distortion. Brothers and sisters teaching that, talking that. God is not going to interfere with human shit. Decisions and choices. You're not suddenly, getting grace to go to the 5th dimension. Who's teaching that? Who's talking that? Who believes that? You guys know it's physics. It's literally particle physics. No, real. It's particle physics. You can't take a 3D being who only has 2.5 strands or 3.5. You can't take that being to the 4th dimension, much less the 5th dimension. You don't have the particle body consciousness. It's impossible. So let me ask you, brothers and sisters who are teaching this and talking that, how? How does a 2.5 particle go into a 4K, 4 level particle? Particle. How does a being that goes twice as slow, vibrates twice as slow, go into density universe soul level? You can't. It's impossible. It's not in the physics. Good idea. A nice, lovely idea that everybody's ascending. It's just not happening. People's, it's like, that is a new age idea that everybody's ascending. I am disappointed in you Christic brothers and sisters who are preaching that we're all ascending. That's a new age thing. You're still stuck in new age. Okay, that's maybe one of my, I'll just stop that right there. So we're trying to heal ourselves, speed up our particle by bringing in our higher strands. It's not going to happen magically. Okay, you can't borrow it, you can't buy it, you can't steal your particle. Your vibration, your frequency has to go naturally, has to evolve and speed up as your consciousness speeds up. You can't be this vibration, you can't take this little vibration and stick it in the 5th dimension. So we all have to do the work, brothers and sisters. Ascension is, always has been. I'll say that again. Ascension has and always will be. I'll say it a third time. Ascension is and always has been an individual process. And when you know that we're dying here to ascend, so you're saying we're all going to just die and then ascend if it's a global ascension and a free pass to go to 5D. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't work out when you actually understand this. You have, just like the planet ascends, right? Earth ascends how? By speeding up its particle spin from this level to this Tara level, twice as fast. When the planet starts going this speed and going twice as fast, then it ascends. And when you, as a person, we're all at different levels of frequency speed. Some of here, some here, some here. All different levels. This is why it's an individual thing. As soon as your level speeds up, and then you're ascending after you die. No, you don't have to worry about dying in density 2. You're immortal. You don't have to go through this incarnation like this. You transmute. Just like we used to do, according to Voyagers. Sorry. You will see that we used to transmute 24 times. 12 times on our side, and 12 times on the parallel side. You don't skip those levels. Somebody wasn't paying attention. You see, you go through this, you're a Lemurian 2D, then you're a Atlantean 3D, then you're an Aryan 4D, then you're Muvarian 5D, Celestial, you can't even see the vibrations anymore, Angelic, Archangelic, you go up in sound pitch, you go up in light spectra. You don't take a dirty brown chakra and throw it in 5D. So, souls, we're trying to reclaim our souls. You do it through the chakra. It's your keys to those kingdoms, holy ones. You want to go to 5D. You can't get there without the 5th chakra activated. You want to go to 4D. Inner Earth, same thing. Let's say you want to go to the 6th dimension. You can't go there unless you have 6 strands. That's these strands when most humans are down here. Solar plexus, sacral, and root. So when you go beyond the solar plexus, beyond the ego, solar, the reasoning mind, then you have a foot into going towards back to your soul. These teachings, like for example, the Kathara Biospiritual Healing that Celine mentioned, if you actually study it, you will learn how to actually focus specifically on the heart chakra, how to specifically focus on the throat chakra. It's called triadic phase currents. You're using 3 chakra and mental techniques, because we're right here. We're using mental body. We're using mental techniques to connect to these levels. So techniques are important. You're running frequency through the mental body. You're connecting this body, this level to this level with the mental body. So visualizing is an important part of this. And if you can't visualize, then making sure you got the intention. You're saying it and intending it. It's happening the way these steps are. If you're doing a technique, you read the instructions. You can't see it visually. Well, you intend it. You intend it with your heart and soul in mind. You're putting intention, hopefully you can see a little bit. It helps if you can visualize, you guys. But you will practice triadic phase currents, because people ask me these questions like, who am I? Can you do a reading on me? You can't be rude to those people. I can't be rude to those people. I have to introduce the concepts. Like, nobody can tell you who you are. And if someone tells you, how does that help you? No, really. If someone tells you you're this and you're that, but you never experienced it in your own spiritual journey, how does that help you? It doesn't, until you actually experience it through your own inner Christos, which we teach about big time here. The inner Christos, your inner self, your God self, your direct connection to God. But when people keep talking about, what am I? Who am I? Do a reading for me, please. They don't get it. They don't understand. Like recently someone asked, which angel should I worship? Or they didn't say worship. They said, which angel should I follow? We don't follow any angels. You're an angel. You're an archangel. You're an avatar. You're God force. You're source God. Why does God need to follow itself? You see, that's such a bizarre concept, but it's entrained in us. We've been trained to get used to following. We're going to follow some self-proclaimed archangel, some god, some demigod, which are ETs. ET, that's an ET. We don't worship, we don't follow. We are God. Here's the next one that's very important too. Sovereign. Do sovereign beings follow? Remember this affirmation. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. You're free. You're sovereign. You're equal to all the other parts of God. I'm equal to you. You're equal to everything else. We're all equal. Because I saw that somewhere. Someone says we're not equal. While they're saying we're all part of God, but we're not equal, this person still doesn't get it. We're all equal. Because it's God. I'm not a me. You're not a you. We're not a we or a they. There's only the one self. One. How can one have comparison? How can one have chosen ones? When someone is coming out with that in their mouth, you know right there they don't understand law of one. Because there's plenty of people talking about chosen ones. There's only one. So how can there be a chosen one when there's only the one? How can there be inequality in God when there's only one? If there's only it. There is no such thing as equality. That's something we put on other selves. We're all equal. We're all God. And we're all fragments. You saw how we talked about that tonight? You're 12 of this, and that's 12 of that, and that's 12 of that. These are all fragments. These are all faces of the God source. God created a time matrix. Creator, source God, created 24 time matrices. God put itself, projected its consciousness into these time matrix hologram systems. They're holographic systems. Not real, but they're real because it's God's consciousness experiencing dividing. God wanted to divide itself. If God put itself here, it wanted it. God wanted to separate itself. God wanted to polarize itself. That's what creation is, permanently. This is permanently a 15-dimensional time matrix. It will always be here for other ascended masters to come in and experience being separated and fragmented. It's how this place works. It's the illusion of being an individual, but we're not. We're part of the one. It's all these beings, many expressions of the God source, many faces of the God source, many fragments of God. This is, religion doesn't get that. They think you're separate from God and that you must be subservient to God yourself. So you got pieces of God in the hologram that become distorted because of the mechanics of the hologram. It's the way God created it to be. God allowed it to have some distortion because God wanted to experience whatever came out of it. The omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent God put a part of its energy into the time matrices, and the time matrices are all fragments, frequencies in like this, like lower frequencies to higher frequencies. God wanted to experience this high frequency. God obviously wanted to experience a low frequency. God wanted to experience parts of itself that had a lot of itself, and God wanted to experience what it's like to be just a piece of itself. God wanted this. God doesn't like, the unholographic parts of God. The unified part of God is not distorted, is not dark. It is the holographic parts of God that can become distorted. In the system that Creator made. Bless all of you in your journey to reclaiming your soul. Whoa. Well, Steve, that's exactly what the message is. We are God. It is God that created itself in fragments. We are God. So we're just experiencing a piece of the creation of itself. And notice that it reclaims itself in spiritual ascension. It's temporary. Your Creator becomes less of itself. Creator became even more less of itself. Creator, not something else, not someone else. It is always the one being. Creator put itself here. Creator put itself here and itself here. Put itself in Tara, put itself on earth. It is still great God. Machiwa. Thank you guys. And if any of you really like this message, if you're learning anything from these teachings, you guys, please support this work. We're getting close to the end tonight, so please support this work, you guys. You can do a live donation here. I made it easy. It's pinned at the top, a little $sign. Please donate to this cause, you guys. Help this go full time, no interruption, no problems. I can't do this without you. And you can also support this work by becoming a paid member. And you can also support this work by going and visiting my Etsy shop and buying one of my artworks or one of my crystals. Thank you so much, you guys. This is how I do this full time for you. My service to you guys. Sir Madism, woohoo! Rant usually has a negative connotation to it, but thank you, brother. Much respect. We're talking about facts tonight. Christic facts. Machiwa. Thank you, Sir Madism. Bless you, brother, for supporting this work. Good night, Giannis Jamie. Peace to you, brother, sister, holy ones. Yeah, Terahertzforwellness.com. Thank you, Indigo Wizard. GSF, you say it, Lauren. God, sovereign, free. And what is God? God is sovereign and free. We are that which is God. We are also God, sovereign, free. We are distortions of itself. You are a distortion of God's self. You can't be something other than God. You can't be separate from God. It's impossible. You are always intimately connected to Source. Even as a fallen angel in Phantom, you're still connected to Source. You can't be disconnected to omnipresence. Where would you be? See, people throw this word around like they understand it when they obviously don't understand omnipresent. God is present everywhere because everything is God. So there's nothing that's foreign to God, nothing that's less than God, nothing that's separate from God. People who say otherwise still don't understand Source, still don't understand. We go through so much trouble trying to explain the context of creation. When you first learn these teachings, the first thing that our teacher, Ashiana, starts teaching, right? The first thing is about the context of creation. Talking about the hologram factor. This is all a hologram. Not real. Not physical. This is all a hologram. A dimensionalized hologram with different realities, different parts. We're part of that. You're experiencing this hologram as God, as a part of God. It's like you are playing a video game and you have created several different accounts in this MMORPG. I am this character, I created this character, I created this character, I created 20 characters, man, and I played World of Warcraft since it came out. I've created hundreds of characters. Those are all me. God's the player creating experiences for itself. God is playing the game of life with players. We are the being that is God. You are the player, creator, wanted to experience a hologram. And this is you, the being thinking and making all of the movements of the character, that's you. You are the being that is created the game. You're the being that put itself in the game. It hasn't changed the fact that you are God. God at many different facets. Just like a diamond has different facets, it's still the diamond. God has many faces. You're still a face. You're still God. It is only in a hologram where you can have distortion, and it is some of these distortions that we call fallen angels that are trying to trick its other brothers and sisters and other faces of God, that it's not God and that only it is God and that you must serve this being itself. Only in a hologram this can happen. Outside, it's impossible. And in our time matrix, this can't happen in the 12th dimension or the 13th or the 14th or the 15th. Only dimensions 1 to 11 has distortion. All the other levels, 12, 13, 14, and 15, they all have direct vertical awareness to their self as God. Many beings in the God worlds, many beings of the God worlds are experiencing direct awareness of itself as God. They don't even bother saying, I am God. They just know it. It's cognition. It's not an affirmation. It's a direct experience as I am God. I see myself. There is no I. I am God. So, well, there is only I, right? There is no we, but there's only the illusion of we, like holographic expressions. This is all holographic expression of the one true source God. Source God is made its projections, made its holographic versions. No one else did. You're not independent of that process. Only God is doing all this. Certainly not something else. So, you guys, this is part of a spiritual awakening, to understand this, to realize this. And the word realize is a powerful word. When you become awakened, you realize. You have cognition. It's not a belief. It's a literal experience and a knowing. Eventually, you will have those moments of cognition and knowing. Religions have belief systems, hope systems, faith-based systems, angry God fear-based systems, dogma-based systems. That is distortions of Creator, not the real, not the original. I don't mean to say real. It's not that which is not with distortion, without distortion. It is distorted, not the non-distorted. That's not really a word, but there's that which is fallen into the time matrix distortions, and there's those that have not fallen into time matrix distortions and know the truth. In the distortions, it's not truth. It's a distortion of the truth. Kind of like a copy of the original. Like you go to a copy machine, like at Kinko's or the UPS store, you put a beautiful colored picture. You make a copy of it. Well, it's just a copy. It's not as great as the original. It's the same with all the distortions of God. Those are not the original that is not distorted. These are versions of itself that has become, off target, it's not getting the original. It's been created with the properties of the matrix. There is free will, and they use that free will and the limitation of itself as not the unified God, but a piece of it. I think that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is that God is creating just a piece of itself so it can sprout like a seed and create new experience. I've even heard Ashiana say this herself, that we are growing what we call God. All of our experiences and all these countless beings in our time matrix, all of the countless beings in all the other 23 other time matrices, that is all continuing to create what is God. God is every nanosecond, every particle second, every step of the way, every hyper moment. God is expanding. God is expanding. God is continuously expanding. God is great, but God doesn't stop being greater. God is always becoming greater. Is there a limit to eternity? No. There's not a limit to how much God can become. God is always becoming more and more and more. What do you think I don't mean to say he. Why do you think creator, why do you think God is called a creator? Because it's creating all the time. It didn't just create something and stop. God is done and doing nothing. No. God is everything and always doing something. God is always creating and expanding and becoming greater. Machiwa, you guys, please help me reach $27 more. Help me tonight before I end this live, $27 more to reach my goal. Please, Holy Ones. This is how I keep on going. This is how I can pay my bills. This is my full-time job. What do you call it? Content creator. I'm a content creator. That's my business card. I even have business cards. Let me see my glasses. Aliens, Christos avatar. I created this. I don't need someone else to create a business card for me. I did it myself. Christos avatar TV. Indigo Child, what's up? This is my full-time job, you guys. This is my service to you. Please support this work. Help me reach $27 more before I end the live. Machiwa. I love you, Holy Ones. Tuna, thank you so much for your feedback, Holy One. Woohoo! Thank you, Celine. I'll pass those out in Sedona in case you guys want one. Even though you know how to get a hold of me. Maybe you can give it to someone else, right? Tuna says, thank you, Anahazi. I feel empowered here, and it feels like my heart is growing. Much love. I appreciate your tips. To Indigo Wizard. Thank you, Indigo Wizard. Thank you, Holy One. Thank you for sharing, Tuna. It means a lot, really. See you, peace. See you, Steve. Peace out, brother. Holy One. Blessings. Nikki B. On fire tonight. Thank you, Nikki B. I love to hear it. To hear it from the regulars. Yeah, it's identity crisis when we don't know this. You know, it's hard to figure out things when we can't figure out even what is God, first of all, much less what we are. This is why the guardians, the Emerald Order guardians, like Ashana, like myself, start with the time matrix to explain everything. You got to have a starting point, and that's the best place to start, right at the time matrix, because you can see all the parts and how it creates everything else. G-Light! Woohoo! Star Sister! Thank you so much for supporting us. You guys were getting closer. Now it's $17 more. So we're very, very close. Thank you, G-Light. What did she write? Something one? Number one. Number one! Woohoo! G-Light! Thank you for being a member too, G-Light. Celine! Blessings, sisters. Sending blessings to you, Anahazi, and to all. Thank you, Guardian. You're a guardian, Holy One. Thank you, sister. Bless you. Yeah. Giannis in the house. What's up, Giannis? Love you, sister. Stardust. Woo! Stardust, Christos. Woo! Thank you, Goddess. Great live, Anahazi. Thank you, Omni Christos. Love. Yes! We're doing it. You guys, $7 more. And we got this covered, baby. What's up? Thank you, Stardust, Goddess. Love you, sister. And I got an email from Tom Althouse, man. I'll have to give him a reply back soon. And so, Gina! Whoa! We did it! We over jumped. Yes! Thank you, Gina. Bless you, sister. And she has a message, Starbro. Would you consider doing a live on the difference between Jeshua in the teachings versus modern day religion? Thank you for considering. Machiwa. That's an excellent idea, sister. Yeah, let me plan for that. I will definitely do that. I promise I'll do that. It will probably be called like the three Jesus or the three Christs, because that's part of Jesus' story, what we call Jeshua. So, yeah, very good idea, Star Sister. Bless you. Thank you for that idea. Thank you for your amazing support all the time. Unbelievable. So happy I met you in person. I got to see your real personality, your real character. It was great to just be with a down-to-earth person. I don't like superficial people. You know, we're guardians, we're indigo children, and we can sense that when someone's when someone's fronting. So Gina was the real deal. So I'm grateful to, I only want to surround myself around people like you guys. Not around posers and false light people still pushing, false creeds. False light teachings. We love all, and we will gently, talk about the other perspective. Okay, we'll talk about the Emerald Order Law of One perspective. Law of One means it's not limited to Earth. It's not, it's a universal thing. Law of One is a cosmic thing, because that's the concept what I just talked about. There's only one. And I love your guys' feedback. So hopefully all the other people that will watch this video will also agree and understand a little bit better about that. And I just want to point out something. I can't see it right now, but... Oh, okay. All right. So, but yeah, that's a great idea, Jenna. Thank you so much, sister. And I think will help a lot of people. You'll probably still get some religious people quoting Bible verses, but hey, that's fine, because we'll just reply in a Christic response, not like judgmental response like some of their messages are. You know, like, you must repent. Like, I've gotten messages like that. You repent and accept Jesus Christ as your Savior. Blessings to all those beliefs out there. We talk about God. We talk about Jesus, but just not from the distorted religious point of view. There is a God, and it is omnipresent. But not angry, not a war God, not a judgmental God, not a pronoun God. So yeah, 1555. That's 3 5s in a row. I like that. Thank you guys, all of you who participated, all of you who are members. Let's give a special shout out to our moderators, Mr. Madism, which I notice is almost always the first one here. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. Also, Indigo Wizard, brother, strong in the Christ. We got Celine, another growing mentor, and Machiwa, Indigo Child. We got Stardust Goddess in the house. Blessings to my familia. We got Sandra, Machiwa. Little Alien, Starman, Mokoye. It's interesting because I know all of you, we all found each other. It was supposed to happen. We were meant to meet. We were meant to become part of a group. We were meant to do service together. And while I am asking for donations, someday there will be abundance, for sure, and I won't need to ask for donations. So some of you may be tired of that. You guys, this is part of a struggle for me, because I put all my time, probably too much time, into these teachings, but it will create like fruition. These seeds will create something amazing that will support itself eventually. Whoever's sending those hearts, bless you too. Thank you so much for always being here and sharing that frequency of love. Much respect. So we're part of a team, you guys. We're a group. Sarah, I keep saying Sandra. Sorry, Sarah. Sarah, bless you, Sarah. Sarah Holder, and yeah, I'm not perfect. I can make mistakes, but thank you to all of you who are part of the team. Thank you all that are coming here regularly. You guys, it's very important. And believe it or not, your chat, your conversations in chat are very valuable. They are read by many people. You know, these videos get between 2,000 to 3,000 views. I'm talking about my lives. My shorts make, like 3 to 4 times more views, but these are important because they teach a lot more in a longer video, of course. But if you haven't noticed, lately I've been increasing my videos. I am on a roll. I've stopped smoking again for a while, and I've also straightening out my diet. It's still a struggle, but I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better, and I'm always seeking to be better. I want to do more meditation. Even though my schedule is freaking crazy, I still want to find time a couple of times throughout my day to do even if it's a little meditation. And so we're all going through these changes, and hopefully we're striving towards improvements. We don't want distortion in our life. We get tired of our old patterns creeping up. I'm there with you, brother and sister. I see shit trying to creep up on me, and I no thank you. I know it. I've already experienced that lots of times. I don't need more of those old paradigm energy. No thank you. Goodbye. Good riddance. You were necessary to get me to this point, but I'm here now. Blessings to you. Thank you, guys. Shaddai Ure Akumtan. Shaddai Ure Akumtan. Shaddai Ure Akumtan. Say it with me. I am Christ's star. I am Christ's star. I am Christ's star. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Blessings to all of you, brothers and sisters. I love you. Omnicristos love. Eternal joy. Bliss to all of you. Mindfulness. Trust. Accountability. Or accountability. That's what I meant. Reverent respect. Fearlessness. And some of the responsibilities of mastery I like to include are self-sovereignty, self-love, and there's many, many more where that came from. We are going towards our perfected version. We're not perfect now, but we shall be. We aim for it. We're becoming better than what we were yesterday, hopefully. That includes our consciousness, our beliefs, our thinking. It includes our actions in the world. How are you treating people in the world? How do you treat yourself? Are you having conversations about unity consciousness, about Christ consciousness, about the law of one, about the inner Christos? Are you here, Starseed, exercising some mission, some service? Even a little bit of service will make a big difference, holy ones. Much gratitude. Gratitude. Machiwa. I love you. Omnicristos love. Aho. Namaste. Machiwa. Good night, you guys. I'm going to go eat some vegan dinner. Feed those wild cats out there. And I see you guys on Saturday. Much respect. Check out my new videos. I'm sending out new videos every day. Let's do this together. All right, you guys. Good night. Peace.